I was alone on the island of Patmos when it began. The wind from the sea blew cold against the rocks, and the waves crashed endlessly against the cliffs. It was a place of exile, far from cities and far from the voices of people. Only stone, sea, and sky surrounded me. I sat upon a rough rock with an ancient scroll resting on my knees. My hand moved slowly as I wrote, the parchment trembling slightly in the ocean wind. The first light of dawn appeared on the horizon, painting the sky with pale colors, while heavy clouds drifted slowly above the sea. For a moment, everything felt ordinary. Then the sky began to change. When I lifted my eyes, I noticed that the clouds above the island were no longer moving as they should. They began to twist and circle slowly, as if the heavens themselves were being drawn toward an unseen center. The wind grew stronger. The clouds turned upon themselves, forming a vast, swirling storm high above the sky. I stood slowly, filled with awe. Then, before my eyes, the heavens were torn open. A great tear of light split the sky itself. From that opening poured a brilliance unlike anything that exists on earth, as though another realm had broken through the firmament. I stood frozen before it, nothing more than a small shadow beneath that celestial opening. A deep vibration moved through the air, and then I saw it. Among the radiant clouds appeared a colossal throne. It was not a throne like those of kings upon the earth. Its greatness surpassed anything ever built by human hands. At the center of that glory was a presence surrounded by a light so powerful that no shape could be clearly seen. Soft thunder echoed around the throne. As I looked upon this vision, another sight was revealed to me. Suddenly, I saw a great city upon the earth. It was unlike any city I had ever known. Towering structures rose high into the sky, far taller than any building made by men. Between those massive structures flowed streams of moving lights along the wide roads. People walked among those massive structures, living their lives without knowing what was about to come. Above that great city, the sky began to darken in a strange and unnatural way. Then another vision appeared before me. High above the heavens, there appeared a great scroll. It was enormous and sealed with 7 ancient seals. Each seal carried a weight and authority that I could feel even from afar. I knew that something terrible was contained within it. Then the seals began to crack. At that same moment, I saw the clouds above that great city split apart violently. The wind began to howl as the sky itself seemed to become a massive gateway. Then the first rider appeared. He rode upon a white horse that moved through the clouds with unstoppable purpose. In his hands he carried a bow, and his presence spoke of conquest and dominion. His horse advanced as if nothing in creation could resist him. Then the vision shifted again. I saw great metal creatures flying through the sky with tremendous speed, faster than any bird. They roared through the air as they crossed above those vast cities. Tension spread across the lands of men. Then another rider appeared. He rode upon a horse red like blood, and in his hand he carried an enormous sword. The blade seemed to tremble in the air as the horse raced across the clouds. Soon I saw what followed in his wake. Great cities covered in smoke. Alarming sounds echoed between the towering structures, while flashes of fire appeared in the distance. Strange flying machines circled the skies, while people ran through the streets. War had spread across the earth. Then the third rider came. He rode upon a black horse and held a balance in his hands. The scales swayed slowly as though weighing the fate of nations. The vision shifted once more. I saw great halls where people stored their food. Long rows of shelves stretched across those places, but many of them stood empty. Crowds moved in desperation, grabbing what little remained. The fear of hunger had come upon the world. But the vision was not finished. From a cold mist emerged the fourth rider. His horse was pale like death itself, and a chilling wind followed him wherever he moved. Then I saw places where the sick were brought by others. Many arrived at once, carried in strange chariots that shone with lights and cried out with piercing sounds. People rushed into those places, while others were carried away. Death walked among them. Soon after this, great angels appeared in the sky. Each of them held a trumpet, and their forms were larger than anything a human mind could imagine. When they appeared, the earth began to tremble. I saw great cities shaken as the ground split open in deep fractures. The towering structures trembled violently. Then something even more terrifying happened. The sun began to grow dark. Its light slowly faded until the sky became dim and unnatural. When night came, the moon rose in the heavens, but it was no longer as it had been. It was red like blood. Soon after, stars began to fall from the sky like fire. They crossed the heavens in blazing trails as they descended toward the earth. Then the ground itself began to break apart. In the midst of a great city, the earth split open, forming a massive abyss. The land tore apart as if something from the depths was forcing its way upward. From that opening rose thick black smoke. It spread across the sky like a massive storm, and within that smoke something moved. Horrible creatures emerged from the darkness. Their shapes were grotesque, and their sounds were like the noise of countless insects. But something even worse followed. In the seas of the earth, the waters began to rage violently. Massive waves rose when a colossal creature emerged from the depths of the ocean. It was a great beast. Near the shores, great crowds gathered, staring at the sea with fear and astonishment. Then something strange began to happen among the people. A symbol appeared in the hands of many of them. It shone with a strange light, pulsing as though it were alive. At that same moment, a battle erupted in the heavens. Angels flew through the clouds like flashes of lightning. At their head was Michael, the great archangel. Then a gigantic dragon appeared among the storm clouds. It was the great enemy. His roar thundered across the heavens as angels and demons collided in a war beyond the world of men. The battle tore through the sky itself. At last, the dragon began to fall. He fell from the heavens like a condemned star. Then the sky opened once more, and within the clouds something glorious appeared. A golden city. It shone with a pure and radiant light as it slowly descended toward the earth. Its walls were immense. Its gates opened slowly and majestically. Within that city flowed a crystal river, shining like liquid light. Around it grew luminous trees, whose leaves seemed to carry life within them. The light of that heavenly city began to spread across the entire earth. Darkness disappeared. Then the vision slowly faded. When it ended, I was once again on the island of Patmos. The sea still struck the rocks. The wind moved gently across the shore, and the scroll remained in my hands. With trembling fingers, I wrote the final words of what had been shown to me. As the sun rose slowly over the horizon, I recorded every vision so that the world would know what I had seen.